Here's how the new Season 22 update will affect ALGS. Welcome back to the Apex Morning Shift, your #1 ALGS morning show on the planet. That is a fact. All right, so we've had a pretty important past week for ALGS, so let's get right into it. After the Esports World Cup last weekend, we had a pretty quiet Monday because on Tuesday, Season 22 dropped. And I'm not gonna lie, we haven't seen these many changes to the game in a very long time, which feels really good. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably interested in knowing how this update has affected or will affect ALGS, and you've come to the right place. So let's go over the changes that will heavily affect ALGS. First of all, there's the survey beacons. There's a lot of changes that came to them, but the ones that matter the most for ALGS is the fact that they shortened the range to 500 meters approximately. It used to cover the entire map. This basically means that pro teams won't be able to play off edge and play for a late beacon scan to make a move to end zone. Now they'll have to actually get closer to that end circle to be able to make that scan and see which spots are open. Also, before the update, teams that didn't have a ring console would base themselves off of a survey beacon to see where most players are, which gave them a better idea of where ring was going to pull.
It was easier to play edge.
Exactly, correct. It was easier to play from their POI and plan out the entire game, basically.
Well, especially from personal experience, recently a lot more teams are playing zone. A lot, even in scrims.
Really?
Yeah.
This now makes playing for a ring console a lot more important, and edge teams are going to have to adapt a lot more. And speaking of zone, controller legends now have extra shield capacity when playing in zone, an extra 25 shield capacity. That's insane. That's really good. So now that pushes teams to actually stay in zone and to actually play zone. Now for the guns, there have been a few important changes. First of all, the Havoc and Hemlok nerf, which I really don't think was enough to make the guns fall out of meta, but the LMG buff with the reverse hipfire mechanic that was added to all LMGs, the one that's been on the Devo since, I think, 2 seasons now.
It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. And the new gun shield hop-up makes it look like we're heading in the direction of less of an assault rifle aggressive playstyle to a more LMG defensive, strategic, consistent damage output playstyle. And this LMG buff directly affects Rampart, because for those of you who didn't know, Rampart's kit actually is better with an LMG. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw teams give Rampart a try a little more. They also added Akimbo, Mozambique, and P2020. But the Mozam, oh my goodness. It is insane. Best shotgun in the game, by the way, as an Akimbo. And it actually competes against the best close range guns in the game. So, I mean, we're going to be seeing that a lot more of that. And speaking of guns, they also changed the ammo stacks. Light ammo is increased to 72, energy to 54, shotgun to 20, which won't really affect ALGS all that much. So I actually have no idea why I'm telling you guys this. Moving on, the Mastiff was buffed. The pattern of the pellets were changed to make it more consistent, but also the damage per bullet were buffed. It used to be 88 and now it's 90 to the body, so it's pretty good. So we're going to be seeing a lot more players run shotguns.
MNK comeback, that's all I'm going to say.
That's what I was going to say, which is very good for mouse and keyboard players. And you know what else is good for mouse and keyboard players? The new aim assist nerf.
Which is probably the biggest change we've had in Apex in, I think, probably since the beginning of Apex.
Aim assist was officially nerfed from 0.4 to 0.3, which was bound to happen. I mean, after 5 years of Apex being released, the pro players, they all look the same. All the controller players, they look the same. It's not about who can hit more shots. It's about who can one clip faster. If you don't one clip in a fight, you're dead. That's just how it is now.
Albrelli switched to MNK.
He switched back to MNK? Yeah. Ooh. Do you think Hal would change back to MNK? No. And speaking of ImperialHal, here were his first thoughts on the aim assist changes.
I swear all the guns that are like single tap is like actually terrible with the aim assist nerf. I literally can't aim with it.
Yo, bro, the longbow like kicks up 20 feet up in the air. Have you tried it?
No, but I swear my like wingman, my triple tick, and all the single tap, I am so bad on it now. And that used to be disgusting.
So now our favorite controller players are going to have to put even more aim training hours to master the new 0.3 aim assist. And if that wasn't enough, another change that they added was enemy health bars. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's that overpowered. What I do think sucks is like when you get rezzed and you pop a bat and somebody pings you, like tags you, they'll see that you're full shields, but you're sitting 25 HP. That's what sucks.
It gives them an unfair advantage that
usually
like,
they
would
just popped a bat. That's it.
Oh my goodness. When there's third parties. Wow, I hadn't thought of that. Ooh, that affects ALGS a lot. But the reason why I said it helps MNK players a lot is because aim assist does track through visual clutter, and that's a complaint that a lot of mouse and keyboard pros have said. They're unable to track through visual clutter because they don't have anything helping them. But now with the enemy health bar, it actually does help.
What about the removal of aim flinch?
That was my next point. Nice segue. Aim flinch was removed, which was such an annoying thing to live with. And how does that affect ALGS? Doesn't really affect it other than pro players are going to stop complaining about it. Another important change is the reorganization of the death boxes. Healing items now have a dedicated row and have been removed from the consumables category. Shield cores have been moved to the top of the gear category, and the developer said that these items are critical to a player's success in the outlines. Bringing them up to the top with consistent positions should expedite the looting process and eliminate some tedious scrolling for players. I think it's a good change. I think a lot of players are finding it difficult. From what I've seen, a lot of pro players are a little frustrated because they go for an armor swap. They've trained their brains for it to be at that one spot for years now. I think it's going to take some time to get adjusted to, but I think it's a good change overall. Now, in terms of legend changes, the main one is Crypto. His surveillance drone's cooldown was decreased to 30 seconds, which is good. But the one that's really important is the upgrades. There's a new one called Off the Grid, which basically makes Crypto become cloaked when he's in his drone. That's off of his Blue Evo upgrade. He also has an upgrade named Improved Satellite Imagery, which is that his ult now scans anyone it hits for 4 seconds and will track through walls. He also has Quick Ping, which was removed, and Improved Handling now integrated into base kit, which honestly doesn't sound like much of a change, but it actually has had a huge effect on ALGS so far. Most pro teams have really been giving Crypto a try.
Wish you guys see this side. Good zone for it. The team barrier fence. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, nice. Come at it. Bro.
Oh, there's a team on the right. There's a team on the right holding respawn.
Honest. What the fuck?
One. Nice.
We're seeing so many drones. If we look at legend pick rates from before the update to after the update in scrims, we can see here that Bangalore is still way over 90% pick rate, which is insane. But before the update, Pathfinder was the second most picked legend, and now it's Crypto with 82% pick rate. It's unbelievable. Wattson used to be at 44%, and now she's at 63%. And there's a reason why teams are playing Wattson more, and that's because she got a pretty big change, pretty big buff. Her power pylon now regenerates shield charge, which is insane. Now, if you don't use it, it recharge shield. Like, what? They added a upgrade called Emergency Power, which increases shield regen rate and interception pylon, which means that you get your fences a lot faster and your shield regenerates so much faster. So basically by the time that you pop a medkit, you're almost fully recharged your shield bar. And now with that change, she now becomes the ultimate defensive legend above Caustic, above Catalyst, and above Rampart, which, not gonna lie, after seeing 5 blocks of scrims this week with the new changes, we're seeing Wattsons with LMGs everywhere, Crypto drones flying everywhere, and well, Bangalore remains the main legend, so we're still seeing Bangalore smokes everywhere too. This overall changes the playstyle a lot because with Crypto being now the main recon legend, it slows down and changes the pace of fights a lot because you can't fight while you're in your drone. So it's not like Seer where you can just scan and keep running and keep fighting, or Bloodhound you scan, keep fighting. It's a lot different. Makes fights a lot more strategic. And it's kind of fun to see Crypto and Wattson together in meta because Crypto is the perfect counter to Wattson. Fences everywhere, Crypto drone comes around, ult removes everything. So it's very strategic. You got to play it smart. A team like Falcons, for example, have put Hal on Bangalore, 0 on Crypto, and Wattson on Genburn. And they're the team that's been doing the best. Out of the 5 blocks of scrims this week, Falcons averaged 76.2 points, first overall, Gaming Gladiator second, Not Moist third, SSG fourth, Bleed fifth, Furious sixth, VK seventh, Liquid eighth, Guild ninth, and Northeption 10th. So overall, it's looking like a great season so far. Healthy changes, playstyles are going to vary a lot. It's going to be awesome, a lot more strategic, a lot less just run an ape. I can't wait to see how this develops in ALGS, and it's going to be super entertaining to watch. For now, we continue with international scrims for the next 2 weeks because on August 29th, we have Split 2 playoffs in Mannheim, Germany. So make sure to turn the notifications on. New episode every Tuesday, and I'll catch you guys next week. Take it easy, like and subscribe. Peace.
Yeah, that was a pretty banger episode.
It's a pretty good episode, huh?
Yeah.
Flowing, I'm speaking a lot clearly. I didn't sleep as much last night. I'm surprised that I'm surprised
now
that
I'm gonna go have sex with Crypto.
Oh, you're playing ranked.